meeting. I'm just hoping that everyone's around over the next couple of weeks. We can fit that call in before the vacations. Is there a thumbs up generally? Yeah, generally. Yeah, we'll do a doodle poll, but let's try to get that call in. Maybe Claudia can help us with a quick doodle poll, and we'll come back after this meeting and sort that out. But it's looking good from your first reactions.
I can just quickly comment. I did write a comment, but it might have been too late because I think the meeting ended before, just in response to Begonia's point. The fairness issue in relation to existing people, Martin, and you may already have this covered, is when you're a sitting member and you have negative feedback from the chair and from peers, then you need to have an opportunity to comment on that. And that puts you in a very different situation from a new applicant who's not shortlisted for an interview. So that's really that's the point, isn't it? And I'm sure you can get that covered. It need not perhaps even have to result in an interview. It may just be written feedback. You know, that this is the negative. You want to be reappointed. This is the negative feedback you've got. In fairness, we need to give you an opportunity to respond to that before we decide whether to take you any further. That's the core of it, isn't it?
I think you're right.
I'll just make that point.
Well, we're just making good use of the time while we're waiting. I think we designed all the interviews for those eligible for reappointment as an evidence gathering exercise to test any particular comments made by the chairs and to test any particular issues arising from the performance assessments, and also to assess appetite to contribute going forward. So there's kind of all those elements which are brought in, so we get that. And I got your China question as well, Robert. If everyone else saw that, I also saw that.
Okay. Good. If you got it, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So we'll await that further information. That'll be good, and certainly looking forward to getting this all done.
Yeah, certainly.
Martin,
yes, please.
Does the responsibility of the chair of a different boards, does it include a sort of yearly assessment of members and the way they contribute to the objectives of the board that we can review?
Yeah, well, certainly the board members in the past in the old system used to say something like, I want that person reappointed, and basically it happened. Yeah. So now what we have is a more robust, I think, performance assessment exercise, and those shared. The board's chair perspective is given on that performance, on any other issues in terms of that individual's capacity to contribute in new areas, etc. And all of that is considered. And then an interview panel, which does not comprise the chair, so it's without the chair. Interview panel is then tasked to gather evidence and talk to the candidate with all of that background to hand, and then to report back to the committee. So I think it's a good balance between input, informing, but giving the committee still the role of making its decision on selection. So that's the approach. But of course, if we feel it needs to evolve further, we're always open to suggestions.
Martin, I think to just clarify one thing that maybe Philippe you were asking is I believe there is an annual evaluation process of board members by the chair. Isn't that right? Separate from the nominations process.
Well, so Linda's just coming in, so I'll just complete that thought. So
apologies, everybody. I just couldn't get in again.
Yeah. Linda, thanks. Great. If it's not impolite, I would just finish a sentence because Dave asked something, and I'll just clarify. So
please.
Yes, there is an annual assessment undertaken of the board members, which the chairs do, but the criteria for that assessment has been established by the committee, and the board is aware of that, and the committee receives the results of that assessment and builds that into its process. So you're right, Dave. It's just been evolved a little bit with respect to the actual criteria. Yeah.
And I guess the reason I clarified that point is to both what Robert and Philippe were saying is that process and that information may be all you need in order to respond to the concerns. I mean, you'll see what you've got and decide, but that'll be useful information.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Linda. Sorry, just completing that thought.
Okay. Apologies, everybody. I've dropped off. Okay, I think we can deal with the public section of the meeting. We don't have much to do, so I'm on agenda item number 7. Martin sent you an email regarding the minutes, so we're not going to talk about that further. We'll deal with that. Martin, it's a perfect opportunity for us. Maybe email it out when it's ready beforehand, and then we can approve it at that special meeting that we're going to have for NOMCO. And then obviously item 7.2 we've spoken about. We're not going to take that further today. We have a plan to have that meeting soon. Item number 7.3 is the IESPA expedited process where we approved Hector as an IESPA meeting via round robin, and then 7.5 the public report. All 3 of those were approved via round robin. So I just want to make sure that I've got confirmation and that we record that we ratify that round robin resolution if everybody's comfortable with that. All right. Okay, what I would like to do is just check with anybody if there's anything else for this section, for the open section, or while we have the staff in the room before we go into a private session with Martin. If I don't see any hands, I can just see what's in the chat. If there's nothing from anybody, Martin, do we need to dial into a new link, or can we just ask the staff to dial off and then we stay on this link? How do you prefer?
The only thing I would say, Linda, is your frozen screen since we've restarted, and so I don't know whether it's perhaps you're coming to life now with your visual, so it'd be very good to be able to see you. So I don't know if there's something on your side, Linda, in terms of how you're connecting that needs to just be fixed, and if it can be, ideally.
I'm going to try it. I put my video off, but I'm going to try and dial in with my laptop again. But I would suggest let's ask the staff to dial off, and then we stay on this one. Martin, what do you suggest?
That sounds great. Yes, thank you. And thank you to my colleagues for understanding the nature of this session.
And can I just say thank you again to all of the staff for all the hard work that's gone into this. We really appreciate it, and thank you for your time, and we hope to see you in Madrid soon. So thank you. So Martin, I'm just checking what happens to the list, and then as soon as we start and you start talking, I'm going to try to multitask and then dial in with my laptop again, because that will definitely be a better version of it.
Okay, I can see Shago's got
seems.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, Martin. I just wanted to check in terms of the link we are using. I understood that this was a public session. Are we sure that we should use the same link? I don't know who else could be watching somewhere, but I just thought I would check that. Are we sure we want to stay on this link since it was for the public?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's also being recorded. I don't
think that's an issue, Martin.
I can also
Martin should be rather just dial into the new link.
Let's do that, because I can see a recording as well. Thank you, Dave. Let's all do that, and hopefully it will result in you being with Linda, won't it? So thank you. Let's all do that. I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.